Tariffs, U.S. trade policy, driving the news cycle and creating a lot of uncertainty for us. Today I want to cover 6 major updates for us to understand what's going on right now. But before I do, let's talk about some good news, at least for importers on ocean freight rates. Ocean freight rates have dropped significantly since spikes in 2024, particularly on the Asia to the U.S. Routes. This is due to a widening gap between capacity in the market and demand right now. As long as this continues, rates are probably going to stay quite low. But not everything is smooth sailing, which brings me to what I wanted to talk about today, which is the 6 major changes with U.S. Tariffs and trade policy. All right, on to our first update. Goods from China and Hong Kong have a U.S. tariff that was implemented beginning of February of 10%. On March 4th, that was updated to 20% with very limited exceptions to this, other than if the cargo loaded the vessel prior to February 1st. I think we're past that window now. This is in addition to any other tariffs that were on China goods before this point. Okay, on to update number 2, U.S. tariffs on goods coming in from Canada and Mexico. On, off, on again, off again? That's the case. There was a 25% tariff that was supposed to be put on Canada and Mexico goods starting on beginning of February. That was delayed, became effective again on March 4th, but now it's put on pause again. Well, at least for all goods that qualify under a United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA. At this point, although there's messaging that it may start again and become effective again in April, there's no official end date to this pause. Okay, update number 3 is steel and aluminum tariffs. As of March 12th, there's a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum coming into the U.S. This is an expansion of some of the policies that President Trump put on steel and aluminum during his first term. This involves both a reinstatement, an increase on tariffs, a removal of exemptions on some of these products, an expansion of derivative products. This is a very nuanced order, and it would be difficult to explain in this video, so feel free to reach out to me if I can answer any specific questions on that. Update number 4, I've been mentioning a report commissioned by Trump to the U.S. Trade Representative where they would be reviewing current trade policy, proposed trade policy with our trading partners as a way to deal with imbalanced trade. This is going to be completed and reviewed at the beginning of April. Likely outcome of this is going to be like-for-like tariffs on our trading partners. So for instance, if a country has a 10% tariff on automobiles coming in from the US will have a 10% tariff on automobiles coming from that country. All right, update number 5 is a possible new port fee for all up to $1.5 million per port call for all Chinese operated or Chinese made vessels. More than likely, the carriers would work these fees into an increased ocean freight rates or surcharges. And the 6th and the last important update I want to make note of today is a possible new tariff on any type of commodity the U.S. considers critical to our economic security. This could include automotive, semiconductor, pharmaceutical, copper, and lumber. This would be a 25% tariff on these specific commodities. This is a lot of change to process. Other than the long-term decisions of where you're going to be sourcing from, there's some important things that we need to be doing in the trade community. Number 1 is just considering how these different tariffs are going to impact your goods, either that you have a purchase order for right now or that are currently on the water. A second thing that would be important to do is consider your duty outlay. How much duties outlays are going to be in the near term for you. You may want to consider setting up ACH to pay U.S. Customs directly, talking to your freight partner, your forwarding partner, to make sure you have enough credit in place to cover the additional duty outlay. And then your bond. As a rule of thumb, your bond should cover 10% of your duty outlay for a year. So if you have $1 million estimated for the next year, your bond should reflect that at about $100,000. As always, thank you for watching. I hope this video was informative for you, and if I can answer any specific questions I didn't cover here, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.